Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining. And we're excited to get started. So I'm going to pass things over to our presenter to kick things off for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerica. So today's webinar is Greenshades Year-End Filing Toolkit. We're going to be navigating forms and taxes. I'm Amber. I am a sales engineer here at Greenshades. I've been with Greenshades for about 5 years, and I started on the support side, so I work very closely with the product. And presenting with me today is Jason. I'll let Jason introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Cools. I've been with Greenshades for 2 years now. I work on the sales team here at Greenshades, and I see a lot of familiar names attending the webinar today, along with some new ones. So we definitely appreciate you all taking some time this afternoon.
Start off, we do have a quick legal disclaimer. This content is not formal legal advice. We encourage you to always consult your local counsel as well as your organization's legal and accounting teams. The purpose of this presentation is to provide a high-level overview of the year-end forms process and how Greenshades can help. We partner with My HR Counsel to provide customers with affordable online and on-demand legal advice.
All right. Well, in the first section for today's webinar, we're going to be taking a look at ways in which Greenshades can help and guide clients through the 2025 filing season. So to start things off, we do have some changes to year-end forms for this year. First, I will talk on the 1099 miscellaneous. For the 2024 tax year, Box 14, which is excess golden parachute payments, will still be included for the 2024 tax year. So if this does apply to your organization, just be sure that you're reporting those amounts accurately. For W-2s, a new code has been added to Box 12. That is code II. And that new code is for Medicaid waiver payments excluded from gross income under IRS Notice 2014-7. So this is an important update for employers managing Medicaid-related payments. So you just want to make sure that your payroll system is ready to accommodate this change if it applies to your organization. And then finally, there are also some new requirements for employee notices regarding refundable tax credits. You will see a list of the states affected on the right-hand side. There is also the city of Philadelphia that is affected as well. So it's just going to be important from an organizational standpoint that, you're up to date with those states and city requirements to make sure that everything is in compliance when filing. Next, we'll take a look at some changes for 1099-K reporting for this year. The topic of 1099-Ks has been a hot topic from the IRS over the past few years regarding decreasing the reporting threshold. So last year for the 2023 tax year, the reporting threshold was at $20,000. For 2024, the reporting threshold will be $5,000. So for any transactions occurring during the 2024 calendar year, TPSOs are required to report payments exceeding that $5,000 mark. So any payments made through third-party networks like digital payment platforms that surpass that amount will need to be reported for this year. Looking forward to the 2025 tax year, the reporting threshold will decrease again down to $2,500. So again, with that reduction, it means more transactions will fall under the reporting requirements. So just again, important to monitor those transactions closely and understand what your volume will look like year after year. And then finally, in 2026 and beyond, that threshold is going to drop significantly down to $600 per calendar year. So with that final change, the IRS really is looking to move to e-filing when necessary. So with that threshold dropping to $600 in 2026 and beyond, it's going to result in nearly all third-party transactions being reportable. So really just shifting the reporting landscape for TPSOs and requiring, new processes to stay compliant as well. All right. And on the next screen here, we do have our pricing guides for this year that I'll be covering shortly. Just wanted to add a quick note regarding form submission through Greenshades. So for any non-annual forms, meaning whether if existing clients are filing state returns or quarterly returns through Greenshades, those forms must be provided by 11 a.m. the day before the deadline. Or if you are filing annual form submissions, so think 1099s, W-2s, 1095s, those form types will need to be filed 2 days prior for annual submission to guarantee that timely submission. Looking at the pricing below, I'll focus on the print and mail options first. So we have two options here at Greenshades. The first is our box and ship method, and the second method is our print and mail, also referred to as direct. So starting on the left-hand side for box and ship, we typically will see box and ship used for employee-facing documents like W-2s or 1095s. But with box and ship, Greenshades will stuff your forms into envelopes, will place all of your forms into one box, and send that to your preferred organization address for self-distribution. The print and mail method or direct will be for Greenshades to print off your forms, stuff them in envelopes, address them properly, and then send those forms to each individual recipient. So whether you're looking to get away from paper processes, or if you have a lot of 1099 vendors across the country, we're glad to take that on. We can definitely assist with getting those forms sent out in the mail. One thing to note, as far as print and mail, at the very bottom, you will see a note with the last date guaranteed for a January 31st postmark. That date will be January 24th of 2025. So for Greenshades to guarantee postmarked forms by January 31st, we will ask that you have your forms submitted to us by January 24th. And if you need any additional information on print and mail, definitely feel free to reach out to our team. On the right-hand side, we have our filing fees and the online distribution fee. Outside of the optional print and mail service, these fees will be our standard cost for filing through Greenshades. So for federal form types such as the 1095, 1099s, W-2s, we will have a standard filing fee of $385. The same goes for if you have any state or local returns as well. One thing to mention as far as those filing fees, we do charge a filing fee per form type, per company as well. So if you are filing for multiple companies, we will charge an applicable filing fee per form type for each company. And then finally, at the bottom, we have our online distribution fee. That fee will be $1.25 per form uploaded to the Greenshades website. All right. And then next, we have some ways in which we can help optimize your Greenshades solution for this year. So with filing year-end forms through Greenshades, we can also help simplify the tax season process for your employees. With Greenshades being integrated with some leading tax preparation softwares like TurboTax and H&R Block, that connection allows employees to easily access and use their payroll and financial data to complete the 1040 for themselves, just helping to reduce time spent on the employee side as well. And then next, we do offer archiving solutions for our year-end product. Greenshades will store your tax data online for the year following the year in which you file. But if you would like to extend that access of your data being stored on Greenshades, we can definitely assist through archiving as well. And then outside of the year-end filing product, Greenshades will also offer support on the payroll tax side as well. So if you are looking for assistance with federal, state liability payment submissions, that's an area in which Greenshades can assist. And then through our payroll or standalone HR solutions, we also do offer an employee self-service portal in which they can gather important documentation like their W-2 forms and 1095s electronically as well. And then finally, through the year-end process with Greenshades, Amber will touch on it in just a few minutes here, but Greenshades does assist with SSN and TIN number verification. But we also do partner with McCorma for same-day verifications and year-round verification for TIN numbers. So if you would like more information on that topic, once our team sends out this slide deck, we'll have a link to their website so you can reach out to them directly for any questions. Perfect. And then the last item I would like to touch on here for today is our year-end form resource page. So again, within the slide deck, we will have a landing page that will direct you to our website. That year-end resource page is great because it includes some of our latest ebooks and guides guiding you through the year-end process. There will also be our support videos as well. So if you would like to see a recorded demonstration of the filing process through Greenshades, you can access those at any time, and it'll walk you through a step-by-step process. And then finally, regarding our support information, our normal support hours are 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. Eastern time. As the month of January increases through January 20th through the 31st, we will have extended support hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So as things get a little more hectic through January, our team is here to support you all through those extended hours and, make sure that we can accommodate any questions or needs throughout the month. And then one final thing to note as well regarding support for our tax clients. Through our payroll tax service solution, which offers the ability for state, federal, and liability payment submissions through Greenshades, those payroll tax service clients are also assigned a dedicated tax support rep. So if that is something of interest, definitely feel free to reach out to our team and we can share some more information. But essentially, that dedicated tax support rep works with our clients on a one-on-one basis, whether they have compliant questions, if they're expanding into more states or localities. They will be a resource to work one-on-one with those clients and make sure they have everything they need as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our demo site and we can take a look at the Greenshade solution in action. All right, so what we're looking at here is the Greenshades online portal. Our Greenshades online portal does support a lot of different features. We do have HR functionality available. We do have a full payroll platform. But what we're going to be focusing on today is our year-end forms module. So with year-end forms, we do support a variety of different form types. As you can see in this dropdown, there's quite a few different options available. You'll go through an upload process to bring those forms online, and then we'll organize your information into what we call form sets. So for each individual company and each individual form type, you will have these form sets broken out so that you can work with data in an organized manner and just see what you need to see at the moment. We'll go ahead and hop into our 2023 W-2 form set here so we can take a look at what the filing process is going to look like. Once you go through the initial upload, you'll be able to view your individual forms from this page. If you click on My W-2s, each form will be listed out by recipient, so you can click into those forms, review them, ensure everything is accurate. You can also print those forms from this screen or make any edits that might need to be made. There are going to be a variety of reports available on our Download My Form site, so you can get various information about your form sets. And those reports are going to be exportable to Excel if you need to work with them outside of the system. And then after those initial two steps, we have our year-end forms checklist. Our year-end forms checklist is going to look a little bit different depending on what type of forms you're working with, but it'll follow a general flow, and it'll lead you to the final step of actually submitting that e-file. So the initial step, complete company setup, is typically completed when you upload those forms. The information that's being asked in that step is going to vary based on what type of form you're working with. It may be different tax information that's being requested, as well as billing contact information. And then after that, you'll move on to our verification step. So for 1099s, we do support TIN verification through the SSA, or the IRS, excuse me. And for W-2s and 1095Cs, we can verify Social Security numbers through the SSA. I do want to note that that process, since it is going through a third-party system, does sometimes take a few days. So if you are up against the deadline, I would recommend holding off on that process to avoid filing late. In step 3 of our year-end checklist, Greenshades is going to identify anything that may affect your filings. So we'll provide you with warnings that are going to be organized by severity. They'll either be low, medium, high severity, or high priority. So as you go through, you can review those different warnings and address whatever may need to be corrected. Moving down through the list, we have step 4, which is going to provide you with all of your totals for that particular form set. If you do end up going into a form and making a change that would affect those totals, this page is going to update in real time, so you'll always have the most accurate, up-to-date form set totals to review in step 4. For anybody who's currently using Greenshades Online for our employee services, we do offer the ability to distribute these tax forms electronically through the Green Employee Portal. So if you are in that situation where you have employees currently logging in to get their pay statements and review their profile information, you can release those forms through that same process here. So those forms aren't automatically going to become available once they're uploaded. You will have time to validate that information, and whenever you feel comfortable with the state of those forms, you can release that access for employees. Similarly, in step 6, we do offer the ability to send out email addresses to employees who have email addresses in the system. So we can send them an email with a link that they can use to access those forms. And then in step 7 of the checklist here, we have our distribution processes. So we do have a few different options for distribution. We have our print and mail service, where we can either print those forms and send them directly to your recipients, or we can print them, put them in envelopes, and send them to a central work location so you can distribute those forms in-house. There are options to filter what type of forms and which particular forms you'd like to include in any mail service batch. So if you want to exclude any employees who have consented to electronic-only forms, or if you just need to reissue corrected forms, it's very easy to manage that through separate mail orders. You can also come through and reissue a form by reprinting it through the print and mail service wizard very easily by searching for that employee. And then, if it's preferable to distribute your forms in-house, we do offer the ability to create download batches, so you can print those forms and pass them out on your own. Just like with the print and mail service, you can get specific about which forms you'd like to include in each download batch. So if you just need to print a handful of forms, or if you have one particular individual who misplaced their form and requested a new one, you can easily pull that information without having to work with the entire form set. And then moving into the final steps, we do have our e-file steps. For federal returns, Greenshades is able to assist with the submission process. So you can go through and have us submit using our transparent control code. If you'd prefer to download the e-file and file yourself, that is absolutely an option as well. And then for any state filings, we're going to provide you with the e-file as well as instructions on how you can go through the submission process for those state filings. One thing I do want to note about those state filings is that for 1099s, we are not going to be creating any sort of state e-file. A lot of states do participate in the combined federal state filing program, where they will actually get that information to the state after you submit the federal filing. But we do encourage you to do some research, reach out to the IRS if needed, and get some information on how those state filings are being handled for 1099s. These forms are going to stay online for the year following the filing year. So for our 2024 tax forms that are being uploaded soon, those are going to be available online until December 31st of 2025, unless you opt to choose that archiving option that will extend the life of the forms. So that was a quick look at our year-end form site. I will go ahead and bring us back to our PowerPoint. Now for our key takeaways. During the year-end process, it's important to evaluate your year-end form solution. Greenshades has a lot to offer. Beyond just year-end form software, we can also help with retaining those forms online with our archiving. We have employee self-service tools, so employees can actually access those forms online. We do also have options for employees to make edits to forms. So if they need to update something like last name or address, you can give employees the ability to make those changes when needed. It's also a great idea to simplify complex processes. This helps reduce the risk of errors and save time during the filing process. Working with year-end technology that can help you remain in compliance and ensure that things are processing effectively and accurately is always a good idea and can really help alleviate some of the stress of year-end. And then it's always important to be ready for year-end form changes. Year after year, the process for filing does change slightly. There are also some changes to filing requirements, so you need to stay on top of those changes as well as keep track of any deadlines that might be adjusted year after year. And briefly, I do just want to touch on some of the other services Greenshades offers. We offer a flexible in-house payroll platform that's personalized to your business options that can really help simplify and save time on the payroll process. We offer a variety of HR products that can help empower your employees and provide a better employee experience, which can lead to better retention. Our benefits administration can help ensure every employee has what they need to thrive and can ensure that they have all their benefits information available at their fingertips when they need it. With our time and labor management, we can reduce the amount of time spent managing employees' time, as well as ensuring that information is accurate and flowing into payroll properly. And then with our taxes and compliance, we can help navigate tax complexities with automation, as well as ensure that you remain in compliance with any changes or updates to tax needs.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amber, for going through that content. Yourself and Jason. I think a lot of great nuggets, a great insight look to the Greenshades solution. So now we have a few Q&A questions that came through that I want to go through. So when will the 1099 MIS and 1095 NEC templates be available for 2024?
Thanks, Jerica. I can take that one. So our templates for the 2024 tax year, they are still going through final compliance checks. They should be released within the next few days. So definitely be on the lookout. If you have any specific questions related to those templates, definitely feel free to reach out to support@greenshades.com. And our team can send over the proper copies that you need for this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason and Amber. I think you may have covered this a little bit, but how does Greenshades support importing year-end form data?
Yeah, we have a couple of different options. So for certain ERP systems, we do offer a direct connection where clients can use our software to pull filing information directly onto our site. And for other clients, we do have an Excel template option. So if you have your filing information, you'll just populate our Excel template with the required fields and can use that template to upload and create your forms in eFile.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. How does Greenshades help with distributing forms to employees in a timely manner?
Yes. So with employee form distribution, we can, kind of as Amber alluded to earlier, we do have options for sending those forms electronically to employees. So if they do give their consent to receive an electronic copy, we can make those forms available for those employees through the Greenshades portal, in which they can go ahead and download a copy, just saving time on both the employee and admin side for distribution.
Thank you, Jason. And then regarding the 1099, how are the data uploaded? Is there a template?
For the 1099s, we do have various templates available. So depending on which 1099 form type, you will select the appropriate template and you can upload data using those. And then for our GP clients, if you're on an updated version of GP, we do offer a direct connection to pull that information.
Thank you, Amber. And then is it necessary to complete step 2 employee verification?
Absolutely not necessary. We do recommend it just to ensure that all of your data is accurate. But if you are confident in the state of your information, or if you are running up against the deadline, you can certainly opt to skip that step.
Thank you, Amber. And then if an employee has terminated, can they still log in and get their W-2 through Greenshades portal?
Yeah, if you are still utilizing the Greenshades portal for current employees, there's no issue there. That terminated employee is going to have limited access to the Green Employee portal. They're only going to be able to see their tax forms and pay statements, but they definitely will still have access to those documents.
Thank you. And then when will the system be available to send SSN numbers to be verified?
Amber, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it will. The sites will be live on January 1st for clients to begin running those verifications once they've uploaded their data to Greenshades. But yes, so after the first, once you have uploaded your data, that's when you'll begin running that verification process if you would like. And then just to, as a reminder, it does take around 2 to 3 business days for that verification to come back in from the SSA or the IRS. So just something to be aware of as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Jason, for that. It looks like that's the end of our questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you have any other questions, we have our contact information on the screen here. Feel free to reach out to support@greenshades.com with any questions. If you would like to see more of our solution or get a personalized demo, be sure to reach out to us at sales@greenshades.com. And if you would like to see more of our solutions, of course, visit us online at go.greenshades.com. And before we go, I see one more question just came in. How do we handle corrections?
Yeah, so after filing, if you notice that you need to make a correction, you can go into the Download My Form site, make whatever adjustments are needed, and mark those individual forms as corrected. And then we will create a corrected e-file so that you can file that correction through Download My Forms.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Amber. Oh, go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Oh, yes. I was just going to add, if there are corrections that are needed, if you need additional support, you can definitely reach out to our support team and they can guide you through and walk you through that process.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason, for that add-on. Our support team is always here to help. And again, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We have one more webinar left in our Year-End Form series in January to help you guys prepare for the year for your 2025 filing. So please join us for our final webinar, and we're going to give you guys some time back in your day. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.